Han, right?
Voila, very good. Proud of you. Okay.
So, my first question to you is, we talked a lot about digital marketing, Google, SEOs.
Yeah.
What are some of the mistakes, the big mistakes that some companies are making right now and they should be correcting or aware of?
Okay. Yeah, so we're talking about a few things. What I was trying to do in my talk is to divide the world of online marketing into 4 main channels. And then I added up all the rest of the things that are happening. These 4 main channels, for the people who are not in the talk, are search, display, social media, and email. I think the biggest mistake that companies do today is that they understand that the attention of people, including themselves, the managers, the CEOs, even the marketers, they know that the attention is there. It's on the small screen, on the bigger screen. We are connected all the time. They see it in front of their eyes, but they don't do the shift in their business. They buy a smartphone, they buy the laptop, but they don't bring their business where the eyeballs are. And I think that it's a big challenge. I understand where the challenge is coming from, but I think the first thing is to say, okay, I understand that people's attention is there, now I need to do something about it. How to do? This is the second step, but the first step is to say, I'm going there, because this is where the eyeballs are. The main issue is that bad habits die hard, and this is why a lot of companies are still catching up.
They're still struggling.
Still struggling, still catching up, still trying to understand this mess that is called online marketing, because we are moving in such a fast pace that by the time you catch up with something,
it's something new has cropped up.
Voila.
Yeah. What, in Mauritius, what are the main channels that you think are important, and what are the main content formats?
Okay. So again, the main channels I introduced them in my talk, and I really think that you need to start with the basics. Because I was talking about search, display, social, and email. Every one of them is a huge subject. Social media is what? It's just Facebook? No, it's Instagram, and Snapchat, and it's Musical.ly. It depends which kind of audience you want to reach to. For example, companies that want to reach young people, they need to be on Musical.ly, but they are barely on Facebook, so how can I communicate about Musical.ly? So I think that to make a mess out of all of this, I introduced kind of an intuition. The intuition builds on 3 things: attention, intention, and engagement. The attention is where is the attention of our target audience, not people in general. The second one is why do they log in there? Because when I log into Snapchat, I want to have fun with filters, I want to vomit rainbows, and when I log into LinkedIn, I want to communicate with people from my industry, I want to follow news. So when you create a piece of content, you need to understand the context of the platform. And the third thing is engagement. Businesses, marketers, managers need to care only about this metric. Because if people engage with your content, it means they saw it, they care about it. It means you are going to reach where you want to reach eventually, which is conversion, brand awareness, whatever it is. And if to even simplify it more, when I say engagement, it doesn't matter how many likes you have on your page. It doesn't matter how many times you post a day. It doesn't create necessarily exposure and therefore engagement.
Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of the big mistakes that companies make. Yeah. They see the number of reach, they look at the number of likes that a picture or a page has, and they automatically assume that this is successful.
I agree with you, and it's misleading, and I think that there is a funnel, and actually I understand why the confusion happens, because something new happened. What is this something new that I'm talking about? If you are putting a billboard out there, me as a marketer, as an advertiser, whatever, my job finishes once I send the artwork to the printer, the billboard company, it's up there, and that's it. I'm not talking to the client anymore, right? But as online marketers, we know how many people it reached and how did they engage with it. Engagement is a lot of things. So likes is just one thing, heart is another thing, comment is a third thing, private message is another thing, clicking to go to my website, tagging a friend inside the comments. So all of these are types of engagement which the businesses need to pursue. So yes, I think that businesses need to catch up on that, and the faster the better, because now our world is changing. of technologies. We were talking about it a bit in the context of artificial intelligence. Alexa, Google Home, Cortana for Microsoft. This will change our world again because we will do everything handless.
VR, AR.
Exactly. Autonomous cars.
Yes.
Autonomous cars. So, yeah. But wait, I didn't answer the second part of the question. The second part was about content. What kind of content I recommend to produce. So, generally, text is nice to a certain point. Visuals work much better, and far above visuals are videos, and even more than video, live video. And we talked about it a bit. Live video is playing on our traits as human beings, the curiosity. I want to be a part of it. Video definitely, but I also acknowledge the problem with video, which is it's not cheap to produce videos, and this is why a lot of companies are not catching up. And then there's other thing, content marketing, that is very important to produce value for the people who follow you, not to sell. And some other things that are happening, like voice, we talked about it as well. And yeah, but let's start, like I said, let's start with the basics. Let's do it.
Yeah, the funnel, you mentioned the funnel.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that, please?
Of course. So, what I was saying about the funnel is that I started talking about offline advertising and how once the ad is posted out there, there's no follow-up. With online, you're not blind anymore. You really know what happened after. And the funnel doesn't stop at reach and likes, like you said. Something happens after. How many people came to my website? And what was their behavior on their website? Did they stay long? Did they leave? Did they leave a lead? Lead is a piece of information about them because they want to be contacted,
like the email.
And then the next step is a sale, a real conversion. And this whole funnel, I think it's the duty of marketers to build it and have it in front of their eyes today. 100%. I think it will make marketers better marketers.
The next question for you, we talked about Google a lot, we talked about Facebook a lot.
Yeah.
You said that Facebook is where most people are going. The most searched one in Mauritius is Facebook. Let's talk about where they are spending most of their time, and that's YouTube.
Yeah.
Could you please enlighten us on how do you view YouTube?
Okay, so I just want to mention that, again, for the people who were not there, it was an anecdote. I was trying to show that people start their journey online on Google. In China, they started on Baidu, and in some places in America on Yahoo, Bing, and so on. But on search engines, search changed the way we behave online. This is where we start. And I was saying it as an anecdote that it's the most searched word because people don't go automatically to Facebook.com, they first search it and then go to the website. Definitely, YouTube is a huge platform that no business can ignore. But it goes back to what I said about video marketing. You need to produce videos to be on YouTube. Yes. YouTube belongs to Google. The campaigns that you do for YouTube, for your YouTube videos, you will do through Google AdWords, like exactly like for the Instagram, you will do the campaigns through Facebook's platform.
Yes.
YouTube versus Facebook, and I'm happy that we're talking about the comparison because Facebook counts a view in a certain way, and then YouTube counts a view in another way. The idea is this: Facebook counts a view after 3 seconds.
Okay.
YouTube counts after almost 30 seconds, around 30 seconds. YouTube didn't say exactly how much, but around 30 seconds. So first of all, it's 10 times more. But there's another thing, which is a bit tricky. Facebook set up the default on our feeds for videos to display automatically.
Yes.
So the view count on Facebook could be misleading. You could say, wow, 100,000 views. But wait, hey, how many of them reached 50% of the video? How many of them reached 75% of the video? And this is what you need to look at. Alright, the video count is nice, but what happened after the first 3 seconds? YouTube, as you mentioned, is a platform that people engage with a lot, and not only that, they watch longer videos, they use it to learn things. So YouTube is another platform that you cannot ignore, but again, you first need to create videos. By the way, I always make a joke that if there will be a third world war, it will start between Google and Facebook. And I give the example that, I don't know if you noticed, but when you share a link from YouTube to Facebook, instead of a big one, it used to be big.
Yes.
But then Facebook opened their platform for video, and then they said, okay, if YouTube is going in, we want to win the video race. So if you're going to share YouTube on our platform, it's okay, we're not going to block it, but we're going to make it less visible on the feed.
And if I'm not mistaken, when you used to click on that video, YouTube video on Facebook, it used to play right on Facebook, and they stopped that.
Yeah, it sends you outside.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a war. Facebook wants to win the video race. I have to admit that it's not there yet. I mean, video is huge on Facebook, but in terms of, if you really care again about value, about engagement, YouTube is the platform to be.
Important. What are the things about GDPR that is important and relevant to people out here in Mauritius?
All right. Okay, so first of all, I want to do a disclaimer. I'm not an expert on the GDPR. Of course, I will share everything that I know, but I'm absolutely not an expert, and I think that every business needs to consult a legal advisor or people who are aware of the law. The GDPR is new laws for European citizens. It's important to mention.
Yes.
If you are targeting people in Europe, you need you're by the rules of the GDPR. So meaning if you are targeting only Mauritius, it's allegedly not relevant. Having said that, the Mauritian Data Protection Act aligned with the GDPR, so we cannot ignore it for sure. What the GDPR basically tried to do, and by the way, it's laws that they were working on in the European Union for the past 4 years. So it's not something new that happened only because of Facebook Analytica. It happened because governments really understood that there is abuse of data of people. And what happened with Facebook is that data of people was sold and it was out there to the world in a very, not to the world actually, to businesses in a very open way, in a bad way. Never mind, it's friends of people who use a specific application, not the people themselves. That's not the point. Exactly. And Facebook shut it down, by the way, a few years back. It's just that the story exploded lately. So what the GDPR is coming and trying to do is, listen, businesses, until today you were abusing data, but you have to understand you are keeping in your organizations the most sensitive information that exists out there about people, about where they go, what are their names, their phone numbers, their emails, their addresses, and many other and much other things.
Sometimes information that we ourselves are not aware of.
Exactly. So what the GDPR is trying to say is, you need to know how you are protecting this data. The person on the other side that you are using their data need to know that one, you protect the data, and second, how do you protect it? So another thing is, how do you track it? For example, if you do remarketing, like I was explaining in the top, what is remarketing? Is showing ads to people who visited your website. You need to tell people that you are going to put a cookie on their browser and you are aggregating data, even if it's anonymously. You still need to say it to people. If you collect email addresses, you do it in a proper way and you are not asking your friend, hey, send me your email.
Yes.
Okay, so this is in very simple words. So the idea is really to protect people's data, and I have to say that I completely agree with that. I think that this is how it should be. And yeah, it's going to change, but I do say that, you know, the GDPR, the scary thing about it is that businesses can be fined in 2 million euros or 5% of their revenue, which is scary. Okay, for any business. But really, the GDPR intention, the European Union intention, is not to give fines to these companies. It's really to say, listen, sensitive information, please treat it with respect, and please inform the people that how you keep their data. And if they want to opt out, you absolutely need to give them the option to do so.
So in a way, it's good for us.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's good for us. By the way, for individuals and businesses, absolutely.
Okay, hi. So last question for you. If you had to start, you've just started, like...
Yeah, Quantum started 3.5 years ago,
So if you had to restart a business today, pick any business you want.
Okay.
And let's just say you take the business and you guide us through what are the 5 main steps what are the 5 main things that you would do to make that business happen?
Okay, well, I'm going to be maybe I'm going to say cliche, but the first thing I would be is obsessed about my product. I would want to know that I give a good product. In the context of Quantum, what we do is we're obsessed with the service. We want to give the best service possible, the most professional service possible. We're into online marketing and copywriting, and we want to make sure that our product, which is whatever, copywriting and ad, video, we want to make sure that whatever it is that we give is the best possible. How do I not compare it to the competition, compared to ourselves, being the best version of yourself every day? So yeah, it's a bit cliche, but I think that being obsessed with the product and the service is number one. The second thing is I'm a hustler. I think that I'm an online marketer, 100%, but I also think that entrepreneurs, people who start businesses, need to knock on doors. They need to go and say, voila, this is my product, I want you to try it, would you like to buy it? Start talking to people, understanding, first of all, what do they think about your product or idea of product, and second, how are they going to use it, and are they willing to pay for it? I think that it's really important that, because in a way, a lot of entrepreneurs say, okay, I'll put my product online and it will go viral like crazy. No, you need to hustle, you need to knock on doors. So this is the second thing. In terms of, maybe I would say, maybe product market research, kind of. And then the next thing is sales. It's really related to this, the thing that I just said, but I think that any manager, planet Earth, any entrepreneur on planet Earth need to understand how painful it is to be a sales representative.
To know the pitch.
Exactly. And it sounds weird, but yes, not all entrepreneurs understand it. I think that they really need to understand sales and the sales process and the objections of people and so on and so forth. And then there's the marketing, of course, that has to be interlinked with the sales. That's for sure. Marketing and, of course, online marketing. And I'm not against offline marketing. I just want to say to the broad audience, I'm not against it. If you have budget for both, why not? But online did open possibilities to businesses to start there, because a billboard is much more expensive than just posting something on Facebook. Yeah, and then the last thing is the people. Well, I think people are the most important asset of any business, and people on two aspects. One is the employees, the team. I think that there's nothing more important than being happy when you come to the office. I always say to our team, if you are waking up and you say, Ayo, I wish it would be Friday already, then you're not in the right place. Because most of our life don't happen on Saturday and Sunday. And the second people that I'm talking about is the people who we serve. You know, it's clients, but in a way we really feel that we are part of the client's business. We really want them to succeed, not as a cliche. I'm dead honest about that. Their success is our success, and I think that people is by far the thing that you need to put the most efforts in any business.
That's definitely helpful. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.